What is up, though, Lions fans? This is your boy, Motor City Don P, and we are back here once again. You already know what it is. When you see me in front of your TV, one thing is for certain, and three things are for sure. Number one, Motor City Cats are indeed back at it. Number two, we came to give you stats, not none of that static. And number three, perhaps the most important number of them all, number three, we want to make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. Now, um, you may be asking yourself, how, Don? How, Mr. P, does one keep their Lions news pragmatic? Well, it's very simple. I'm glad you asked, and I will tell you right now. Smash like button, subscribe, share. Once you've done those things, you have indeed kept your Lions news pragmatic, and you have done it. All right, so since sharing is caring, when you share this stream with your mothers, your brothers, your sisters, your uncles, your cousins, your mothers, your brothers, your sisters, your family, yes, you name it. You name it. You have indeed cared about these people. Yeah, I'm a little bit off today. So yes. Crazy day for me so far, but it is what it is. We're gonna go ahead and get to what we need to get to today. What is up to everybody in the chat? What up to Belinda Brown, Tactical Sport, Brent DeWitt, Zach J? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Um, so Belinda Brown says the window of opportunity for a Super Bowl this season seems to be a peephole. Tactical Sports says, what up, though? Brett DeWitt says, am I wrong? The number one priority of Lions success depends on protecting Goff. Frazier Manu coming back doesn't mean Scheiser. Well, Manu coming back doesn't mean anything, but we'll get to the Frazier situation. What up? And he says, how, Don? That is factually correct, that question. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into the offensive line talk. Now, the question of the day is, was no move the right move at the deadline for the Detroit Lions? And I do have I do have an article here, and this is from Mike Payton. So I just want you guys to be forewarned. We're going to agree or disagree with what he has to say, but we're going to go ahead and get into it. It says 5 reasons the Detroit Lions didn't make a trade at the deadline and why they were right to sit this one out. I get it, Detroit Lions fans. You're probably pretty upset right now as you watch another NFL trade deadline pass where seemingly every good team got better with big-time trades and Brad Holmes and the Lions did nothing. Carry on. I can totally see how it can be aggravating. However, there are multiple reasons why the Lions didn't make a move. Let's talk about them. The Lions are getting healthy at the right time. Christian Mahogany is out for a while, and that is a problem. But as we noted, teams just don't often trade good offensive linemen because they aren't easy to find. We'll see about the Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell soon, but we know neither injury is season-ending. Okay, so here's the thing where I'm going to push back on. Washington Commanders came out and told you that they were offering up people, offensive linemen, for trade. Now, just because no one pulled the trigger doesn't mean they weren't any good. I mean, they probably got some offers, but because it was so late in the game, the offers were probably like 6th and 7th round picks. And they were like, nah, we're good. We'll keep the guys instead of moving them for nothing. The Lions are likely to get DJ Reed back this week. Marcus Davenport and Ahmed Hassanin are right around the corner. Stop it with the Marcus Davenport, guys. Come on. Come on, bro. Just, I mean, why do we continue to talk about this man as if he's a viable option? That's just what I just want to know. Like, why do we keep talking about Marcus Davenport like he's a viable option? Why do we write articles in which we mention the name Marcus Davenport? Why do we have podcasts in which we mention the name Marcus Davenport when it comes to somebody actually helping this team? In the last 2 seasons, he's played 4 games. What do we need to see? What else do we need to see? I mean, it's hope, hope upon hope upon hope. You can hope in one hand and poop in the other one and see which one fills up first. Come on, dog. Just stop it with the Marcus Davenport stuff. It's getting to the point where it's annoying, right? It is annoying. It's not funny. It's not a shtick. It's not cute. It's annoying. Ahmed Hassani. We're still talking about what up to Will Murray. All of these names that have been mentioned so far are about the defense. If you watched the game on Sunday, the defense wasn't really the problem. The defense didn't have its greatest game. But the defense isn't what everyone is crashing out about. And we're going to get to some of that stuff in a little bit. The defense is not what everyone's crashing out about. The defense isn't what I came up here Monday night, evening, whatever you want to say, and crashed out about for like 30 straight minutes. It wasn't the defense. Ahmed Hassani, again, developmental piece, who missed a ton of developmental time. I don't understand. Like, football is a difficult game, but it's also a simple game, right? It may be difficult to explain football to a person that has no knowledge of football, but it's also simple to understand. You need time on task. When you're a veteran, you need time on task. When you're a rookie coming from a really small school and a small conference, and you got drafted in the 6th round, you need time. My problem is we're acting like Ahmed Hassani is going to come in and be an immediate difference maker. Because you're mentioning him in the same breath as DJ Reed, or DJ Reed is coming back and Ahmed Hassani is coming back. Let Ahmed Hassani play first. Let him get used to the speed of the NFL, because he's never played in the NFL. He played in the preseason. And the vast majority of the people that play in the preseason don't play in the regular season of the NFL. And a lot of them aren't even on rosters anymore. It was a 90-man roster. It had to get cut down to 53. How many of those dudes do you think are on rosters right now? Sure, some of them got brought back for practice squads. That's an additional, what, 15 guys? 16? All right. So if you take away 16 from 40, there's still, what, 24 guys from every team that are not on rosters? Right? That's 700 people that are not on rosters that you play against in the preseason. Just pump the brakes, man. Let the man take a snap in the actual NFL before we're acting like, oh, he's coming back to make an immediate difference. He may make a difference down the stretch. He may make a difference this year. He may not make a difference this year. He may make a difference next year. Look how long it took Manu to make a difference. Oh, wait, we're still waiting for that. I just don't get it, bro. Josh Pascal is expected back in December. It's the first week of November, so getting healthy at the right time, which you mean he's got at least another month. Okay, whatever. Malcolm Rodriguez is back. Avonte Maddox is back, and Zach Cunningham is coming back too. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to trade for positions these guys play it. No one was asking you for a linebacker. Really, nobody was asking you for a corner. Yes, we were asking you for defensive ends because we've got a guy in El Quadin Muhammad who is the only one opposite of Hutch. And then you've got a guy like Marcus Davenport who plays 2 games at a time. And then you've got a guy like Ahmed Hassanin who we don't know who he is. We don't know what he is, but we do know he needs time. We know he needs time. And that's what we know about him. And that's fine. But we need someone who's going to do something immediately, right now, today. So if we're talking about people being upset about defense, defensive help, defensive line, edge, whatever the case may be, I don't even think that that's what most people were upset about um, at the trade deadline. Why? Because we saw our offensive line decimated with injuries. And you had a guy in Wiley who could play both guard positions and right tackle. That would have been tremendously helpful. If you see the offensive line go down the way that it did, you lost Mahogany for the season and all these things, and you're still mad because we didn't get an edge rusher. Okay. But if you would have gotten an edge rusher at the trade deadline, I don't think anybody would have been upset about it. All right, let me go ahead and look at y'all's comments. Was no move the answer? Short answer is no. I'm convinced Brad Holmes does the opposite of what the fans base wants, just out of spite. You think he's Bob Quinn? Frazier is a dog, but a rookie that missed a lot of time. He'll be great, but how soon? Exactly. Exactly. Exactly what I'm saying, Brent DeWitt. GMs are not bending to Brad's will anymore because we're good now. That's possible. Oh yeah, I forgot we had Tyrus the Virus, the wheat machine. At this point, all I can hope for from Ahmed is he's adequate enough to be in the rotation to give others a play or two off for fresh legs. Melvin will take those guys that are not on a roster. Well, he's got 700 to choose from. Brad needs some type of press conference to give the fans an explanation. It's only right. No, he'll talk about it after the season. None of the guys he spoke of are reliable edge rushers or something along our offensive line. Mm-hmm. I would have been upset. I wanted OL. I mean, I get wanting OL, and there are very few options available for trade. But if he would have gotten an edge rusher, then you would have said, well, at least he did something. He addressed one of the needs. More needs cropped up on Sunday than anyone was expecting. So I think that's the issue. All right, let's continue with this. The Lions aren't cheap. They've spent nearly $1 billion on their own really good players. I know the new shiny thing is always fun, but the Lions have a ton of shiny things on this team, and they are a great team that played a bad game on Sunday because the Lions have invested so much into these Pro Bowl and All-Pro guys. It's hard to part from that strategy when you have to make sure you sign 4 more Pro Bowl or All-Pro guys to big deals. How do you do that if you trade for a big money contract right now? Nobody said it had to be a big money contract. See, this is the thing where a lot of writers, media pundits, and all this stuff, this is where you lose me. Because you make broad stroke statements. Nobody said that you had to go out and get the biggest name on the market. I'm telling you, we needed someone, if we're talking about defensive end, I'm telling you, we needed someone that could help you out as a starter and be in a rotation with AQM, and both of y'all are opposite Hutch. That doesn't sound like a big money guy or a big name guy to me. We're talking about people like Arden Key, Draymond Jones. Like, we're talking about guys like that. It wasn't feasible to think that we would get Trey Hendrickson. That wasn't feasible. Right? So no one's like crashing out because you didn't get Trey Hendrickson. Nobody got Trey Hendrickson. Nobody is telling you that you should have gave up 2 firsts and a player for Sauce Gardner, like the Colts did. Nobody's telling you that you should have gave up whatever the Cowboys gave up for Quinnen Williams. What we're saying is you should have done something. That's all. That's all we're saying. Something to make the team better. Nobody's talking about new shiny things. All we want is to fill the obvious holes that we have right now. Facts. They need an offensive lineman. Yeah, we talked about that, but we haven't got to that point in the article. So we'll get there. Granderson, if he was available, yeah. We're familiar with him, right? So, all right. The window is still wide open. Belinda Brown said it's a peephole. Mike Payton says it's still wide open. All right. Again, I know how this fan base gets after a loss. It's all over, and everyone should be fired. We should all start looking at mock drafts, but this team is good and still a Super Bowl contender. They just need to get a few things fixed up. The Lions played a bad game on Sunday, and they still had a chance to win it in the end, get the third down stuffed, and the Lions are right back at it. A win over the Commanders on Sunday, and everyone forgets what happened against the Vikings. A win over the Eagles, and everyone forgets the deadline. A win over the Eagles, and everyone forgets the deadline is the only true statement there. So let me address this. A win over the Commanders, and everybody forgets what happened on Sunday. The Commanders' defense is one of the worst defenses in the NFL. They just somehow overturned Frankie Louvu's suspension, so he's playing against the Lions. They don't have a quarterback. They were in fire sale mode, saying that they were willing to give up 2 offensive linemen. And now you're going to sit here and tell me that a win over the Commanders and everybody forgets what happened on Sunday. A win over the Commanders simply puts a 6 in the win column and not a 4 in the loss column. That's all it does. A win over the Commanders doesn't give you any confidence about anything. Commanders are a bad team without their quarterback. If you struggle with the Commanders, it's even worse. So if you think a win over the Commanders is something that someone is going to be jumping for joy and like doing cartwheels and backflips over, no, my friend. You're sadly mistaken. All right. I think that the disconnect is because there was a time that we wanted Hendrickson. If you can get a Hendrickson, then you get a Hendrickson. Who wouldn't want that? Right. Facts. But if you can't get a Hendrickson, you get something competent. Mega Hustle, I can do the press conference for you. Here's what Brad would say. Obviously, followed by a couple arrogant laughs and side eye. Oh, did anybody see what Syndicate dropped yesterday? I just want to know if you've seen it. Um, a win over the Eagles and everybody forgets it happens at the deadline. Like I said, that would be true, but we still do need to see how the win happens, if it happens. And we'll get to some other stuff in a second. I don't want to get too far ahead because got some stuff for that. The Lions hold on to their limited draft assets. As you know, the Lions don't have any third round picks right now. I wonder why. I wonder why the Lions don't have any third round picks right now. Does anybody know? If you know, anybody want to tell me why we don't have any third round picks right now? I'll give you a hint. He's got 6 targets in 9 games. But that ain't none of my business. He's got 6 targets in 9 games. That's the reason why we don't have that we don't have any third round picks. Imagine if they traded a second round pick away, then they would have no day 2 picks. And there's a very large gap between the first round pick and that very low 4th. It also affects the Lions' ability to make trades during the draft, something they really like to do. This team has been built through the draft. There's no sense in stopping that now. The question is, when you make that statement, that the team has been built through the draft, which it has. The question then becomes, and they really like to trade within the draft and all that stuff. Cool. The question then becomes, what was that trade a good trade or not? Was it a waste of draft picks? So if you could say yes, it was a waste of draft picks, you can't say that, well, they shouldn't be trading in the draft. You can't say any of that because they've done very well. That one is just glaring because there's been not much production out of the player. And that's also on Johnny Mo. Because as I said, he has 6 targets. So obviously he's not in the game enough to be getting targeted. So I feel like it was a wasted pick. You know, it is what it is. Everyone wants to say, well, that's our Puka Nacua. Well, Puka Nacua started as a rookie and started getting the rock right away. I think he had 100 catches in his rookie season. Tesla can't do that because we don't need him to do that. And that's why it was a luxury pick. And now you're in a situation where you don't have the luxury to not have draft picks, which is the situation that you face. You don't have the draft picks. So, okay. The Lions continues to stick to their ideals. You might not like it now, but you'll love it later. The Lions won't change for any reason. And while there is usually a problem with that sort of thing in Detroit, this isn't a problem for the Lions. They have good players, and they keep bringing in more good players in the cheapest way possible. They're not willing to bend the way they do things for anyone. If the player doesn't fit, it won't happen. If, by the way, it's not like the Lions didn't try. They made calls. They couldn't come to a deal during a week where there was a significant amount of overpaying going on. It's as simple as that. All right. Tesla. What up, though, Jody Carruthers? Does it involve a Motor City Tesla? Yes, it does. Because we drafted a player we don't use. Facts. Who was our first two OLs at the deadline? What do you mean? Puka also didn't go for 3 third-round picks. Facts. He went for 1 fifth-round pick. So I really don't agree with that article. And he didn't touch on the biggest thing that I thought he would touch on, pause, which is that Miles Frazier's 21-day window started today. Right? Miles Frazier was a beast at LSU. He's what, 6'5", 310 or something like that. Now he's going to help you on the offensive line. But as Brent DeWitt said earlier, Miles Frazier is a rookie who missed a ton of games. He needs reps. Same thing with same thing with Hendon Hooker. Okay. He needs reps. I'm not gonna be excited about a rookie who missed tons of games and tons of opportunity to get reps. And then he comes back in week 10 or 11 or whatever it is, and you expect him to just slot in there and be the center of the future, or to be the left guard of the future, or. Okay? But that's the thing that I thought that we would touch on. Miles Frazier coming back. How do you mention Josh Pascal, who's a month out, in your assessment that the Lions are getting healthy at the right time? Okay? That's my question. How do you mention someone in Josh Pascal who's a month out and say that the Detroit Lions are getting healthy at the right time? I don't know. But anyway, I digress. Didn't agree with the article. A lot of stuff that I think is missed as far as from nuances. Um, let's move on from that. Okay. You guys know who Scott Bischoff is? I know you know who Eric Bischoff is. It's a wrestler. That's his brother. Let's see what we got. If and only if Frazier comes in and is solid and starts, I consider the deadline a possible watch. Okay. And we don't expect because rookie, right? What up, though? What up, though? Lions Blood 89. Appreciate you for coming through, man. Um, yeah, we need healthy right now, not in a month. No guarantee they will even be ready then. Facts. Sure, the Lions are getting healthy at the right time. However, we are losing our keys to our offense at the wrong time. Facts. Let's go Lions. What up, though, Mr. Detroit City? So Scott Bischoff is the brother of the wrestler Eric Bischoff. And Scott Bischoff knows ball. Scott Bischoff was on the Woodward Heavyweights today. And they asked him about his level of concern about the Detroit Lions offensive line. 1 out of 10. 1 being the lowest level of concern, 10 being the highest level of concern. He said 7 or 8. Okay, he said 7 or 8. A lot of let's see. What up, though, Robert Stevens? Bischoff is the guy that said we should have drafted Malik Willis. I don't take much that he says seriously. A lot of people say we should draft Malik Willis because a lot of people weren't enamored with Goff. And then when you see what happened on Sunday, there's a lot of people jumping off the Goff bandwagon, right? Okay. And Malik Willis hasn't necessarily been bad in the NFL. He was what, 3-0 for the Packers last season? That's neither here nor there. Would you draft him over Aiden Hutchinson? No, that would have been silly. But also, nobody thought that we would get Aiden Hutchinson. That's the other thing. That's the context of that situation. Nobody thought we'd be able to get Aiden Hutchinson. Uh, who is he? What are we talking about? Would you draft Willis over JMO? No, I wouldn't. No. But also, nobody knew we were going to get JMO. That was a surprise draft pick. But then there were so many people in Detroit that hate JMO still. And there's reasons, and I know the reasons. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Okay, y'all can hear me now. What the frick? Oh my goodness, bro. Okay. Let me get let me get back on it. Okay. What did y'all where did you did my sound cut out? Where did my sound cut out? Anybody tell me? I don't want to go back through the whole thing. Oh wow, from the start of JMO. Okay. That's crazy. Anyway, so Scott Bischoff was on the heavies. They asked him, "What is your level of concern with the Detroit Lions offensive line?" I said one out of all right. So he said seven. So one of the things that he was saying, hold on. So one of the things that he was saying were allowing the Vikings to dictate what was going to be done during the game. But so, the thing I have a problem with Johnny Moe with is that he sat up here and he told us this offseason that he was going to dictate to the defense. And that's not what happened. All righty. Um, I need to get a studio, bro. I really do. I need to get a studio. Anyway, um, so he said it looked like the Lions were refusing to make adjustments about what was happening. So you keep blitzing up the middle, you keep blitzing up the middle, you keep blitzing up the middle, and we're going to continue to bang our heads against the wall and not stop anything. We're not going to make any adjustments. Here's the thing, a lot of people when AG was here were so angry with AG. They said he was stubborn, he never made adjustments and so on and so forth and what have you. And I always said, who is he going to make adjustments with? Even once he got all those stud pieces, they got injured. With Johnny Moe not making adjustments, our offense doesn't score points. See, it's a little bit more dire when you don't make adjustments on the offensive side of the football. Third down, bro. Third down. We're atrocious on third down. And this has been happening all year. This has been happening all year. As I said, now we're like what? We finally, because we got the ball to Jameson Williams. We finally converted on a third down that was over 10 yards. We've done that once in 9 games. We've had 25 opportunities. We've done it once. Congratulations. You played yourself. Now, the thing that he didn't that he said, which I did not agree with at all, was, oh, it can be fixed, which it can be fixed. But he said, if we go and we hang 40 on the Washington Commanders, then everyone's going to forget about it, which is not true. Let me close the door because the neighbors are mowing the lawn. If you hang 40 on the Washington Commanders, again, the Washington Commanders, are they a team in the NFL? Yes, they are. Are they a team that you respect? No. Don't respect the Washington Commanders. You didn't respect the Minnesota Vikings, though. You respect their defense, right? And you respect what their defense does and how difficult it can be to play against. But even though we respected their defense the last few years, we didn't care about it and we didn't lose to it. Again, the litmus test is not going to happen next week. If they struggle to score points against the Commanders, I'm going to be concerned because they are not the litmus test. The litmus test is the week after that on Sunday Night Football in Philadelphia. That's the litmus test. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Y'all like Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? Amon-Ra St. Brown said on his podcast, okay, because his brother, they had Terrion Arnold on there this week. Shout out. If y'all didn't see the episode, Equinemius said he was teaching his girl football, right? So he's explaining it to her. And she said, whenever the Lions defense is out there, it's like, ugh. But whenever the offense is out there, they're doing good. Amon-Ra said, I don't know what you've been watching, but it hasn't been that way lately. Amon-Ra St. Brown said that. Okay? He said that on air, on his podcast. I don't know what you've been watching recently, but it hasn't been that way. Let me get to some of y'all's comments. All right. Let's see what we got going on. Okay, hold on. Listen, I got you. I got what you're saying, but I just wanted you to understand that I've been saying this stuff, and there's people that disagree, and then they go, "Oh, you don't watch the games," and "Oh, this, that, and the third thing." And I'm just trying to let you know. I'm just trying to give you references, from coaches and scouts who say the same exact thing about the offense that I'm saying about it. That's all. That's my point. Um, uh, thank you. Right, Johnny Mo's a fraud, indeed. Don't need to be rude, but nobody cares what is said there. They can work on learning about fair use, copyright, authenticity, basic bylaws, etc. Oh, speaking of which, did you see what Syndicate dropped yesterday? I just want to know if you synced it. 3rd and 20, let's run a screen that has already failed 15 times this game. Johnny Mo's offense reminded me of AG's defense. My way will work no matter what, LOL. And that was the issue. If the offense ain't gelling, he still calls the same plays. 100%. I think Mo so far is worse than AG. Okay. All right. So we're all on the same page here. So my question to you guys, I want to ask you guys, what do you need to see from this offense? Okay. Because let me do this quickly. People have been asking me about what I think, what's my prediction for the rest of the season. So I'm gonna be very unbiased here. Okay. The Commanders believe that's a dub. Eagles, if we haven't fixed the issues on the offense, that is a loss. Lions, Giants, it'll be a dub, but with the Giants defense, I think it'll be a lot closer than what we expect it to be. Lions, Packers, it's got to be a dub just because it's got to be a dub. And the Packers are fraudulent, as I've been saying throughout this year. Lions, Cowboys. Well, the Cowboys now have Quinnen Williams, along with Kenny Clark in the middle, and they've got Jadeveon Clowney on the outside. If our offensive line woes don't get fixed, I think it'll be a tough one, but I really believe that the Lions will win that one. So what do I have? I just have the Eagles as a loss. The Rams, you know me, I will never say that the Lions are going to lose to Matthew Stafford. So I'm sorry. We're going to have to go on principle alone. We're going to go. That's a win. Steelers. Which Steelers defense is showing up? That's the question. Which Steelers defense is showing up? If the Steelers defense of this past weekend shows up, the Lions will lose that game. If the Steelers defense that's been showing up all year shows up, I think the Lions will win that game. Vikings. Vikings. Has Johnny Mo learned from this week? Because they're going to do the same thing. Why would they change anything? They've laid out the blueprint. Again, if the offense hasn't done what they needed to do as far as fixing things, that's going to be another loss. And then the Bears, I'll never pick the Bears to beat the Lions. So, yeah. So, what are we now? 5-3. If we have 2 more losses in there, we're 12-5. So I don't know. 12-5 is going to get us to the playoffs for sure. It might win the division, but if we've got, so what are we now? Right now we're 1-2 in the division. So if it played out that way, we would be 3-3 in the division for the entire season. So if you're 3-3 in the division, and then it goes into win percentage and all that other stuff. the Packers, I think, really, really severely dropped the ball because they lost to the Panthers, and then they've got to play the Eagles on Monday Night Football. I don't think they beat the Eagles, especially with Jordan Love throwing his stupid little fadeaway passes, which should have been picked off twice against the Panthers, but one of them got dropped. It was wide, like there was nobody around the defender, and he dropped it in the end zone. But it didn't matter because it was on fourth down. So, um, so I mean, we got 12-5 on the season. At worst, 11-6. Um, just because I believe that our defense is good enough to hold teams. But if we're like, so that's the problem though. If our defense is on the field too much, then they're going to start giving up points. So that's the issue. Johnny Moe up in the box. Let's run. My name Jeff. It did take Osama bin Johnson half a season before he took off. Robert Stevens, no. No. Johnny Moe doesn't have that excuse. He doesn't have that runway. He doesn't have that runway because number one, he was here when the offense got installed. Number two, all he's done is run his mouth about being in the lab and self-scouting and tinkering with the playbook. And it is so vanilla. It is so uninspired that I don't know what he's talking about. So I don't give him that half a season. He's got to get it going, and it's got to be right now. Jared Goff even say we've got a ton of stuff to fix, and it's got to be fixed now. We don't have time to be working on it later on. 2-2 next 4 games, you hope? In the next 4 games, 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope we're at least 3-1. I don't want to be 2-2. Who are we losing to? You think we're going to lose to the Eagles and the Packers? We can't get swept by the Packers. That can't happen. You'll be at the Steelers game. Shout out. I think that if we have Aaron's daddy back in that game, we win. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Kirby, bro. I hope he's back soon. Everyone, please don't forget to hit the hype button on Don's videos. If you can, you get 3 hypes per week. Yes, please do that. Please do that. Yes, let's get me back there. I'm just waiting for somebody to ask me a question. Oh, I'm just waiting for somebody to ask me a question about what went down in Syndicate Land yesterday. Uh, uh plain yogurt. All right. We're gonna go ahead and get to the mailbag. Mailbag. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they reading you? Mailbag. Snicks. Mailbag. Get your mailbag questions in. Get them in. Bask in it. Tactical says, yeah, I seen that. Oh, that was tame. That was so tame. Motors to the Cats is an authentic channel, and I love it. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Jody, he exposed someone. Mailbag, what went down in Syndicate? Well, he exposed a particular Lions creator for stealing things from him. And it was pretty evident. He went and went through all the stuff that the guy has stolen from him and how he's copied thumbnails and all of these other things. Which reminds me, I have to change the thumbnails for this because I just used the same ones because I was uh busy. I didn't get to all right, I'm gonna tell you what actually happened. I fell asleep. So when I posted it, I just kind of posted it and then yeah, I fell asleep. So when I got up, I started working immediately. So I didn't really have time to change the thumbnail. But I'll do that. But anyway, yes. So he exposed um someone for their thievery and their dishonesty on YouTube. And it was a spicy meatball. It was a very spicy meatball. Shout out to all the authentic creators out there repping Detroit. Hashtag Don Wick. Now that I've seen the movies, I actually like that hashtag. But I'll buy what happened over in Syndicate Land. Um, so there was a very French actor, Juicy Smoulier, you know. How many more games will John Morton last? It depends on how many more performances he has like that. And I think if they happen on the biggest stages, like Sunday Night Football against the Philadelphia Eagles, um, if there is some sort of stumbling again against the Green Bay Packers, um, and I say it goes without saying, I don't even think there's an opportunity to stumble against the Washington Commanders. However, if you do, yeah, you won't make it past the Packers game. Yeah, because if you have three more performances like that, even if we win some of the games, you got to make a change. It's time to make a change for the rest of your life. Talking to the man in the mirror. I don't watch Lion Syndicate, but I trust Don's word. Um, I've heard there are a few Detroit places doing shady stuff, not just one. Um, well, this is the one that I know of because unfortunately I had the unfortunality to come across this person and to work with this person for a few months. Um, so yeah. Co all right. It was a person that's been called many different things. Joe Rockhead is my favorite one. Um, Shout out to my man. I don't know if he wants me to tell you that I call him Joe Rockhead and he's or that he calls him Joe Rockhead and he's not here today. He's usually in the chat. But um what is it? Rocked On Podcast Network. That guy over there. Y'all know I have absolutely zero love for him. Um Basically Syndicate exposed him yesterday. He dropped a video, and apparently he's been all in the comments trying to refute everything, saying it's all lies, it's all lies, it's all lies. um like I said, I mean, we have evidence, we have proof. None of these things are lies. They're not lies. We have the paper trail, we have the emails, we have the text messages, we have all of these things. So oh yeah, yeah. No, the laptop wasn't the laptop was like a 3-year plan. I had to stay there for 3 years, and it's very clear that no one has stayed there for 3 years. Um, the only person that stayed with him by his side is Eric, and shout out to Eric. Eric is a very cool dude. I have no beef, no qualms with Eric at all. But everyone else seems to have left. Um, so, after Syndicate was with him, then I came along, then I left. Then after I left, it was 3 guys talking football or something like that. Then they left. Um, so one of them was like on his show every day as a producer. And obviously I get this information um from other people because I can't stress this enough. I don't watch you. Um I do not. I I removed the suggested, the suggestions how YouTube suggests play. If YouTube suggests to me on any of my channels, I always say to remove this as a suggestion. So I don't spend my time watching this person, visiting their channel, checking in on what they're doing. I don't care at all. Um, so I all of this information is information given to me or brought to me by people that know that I was over there. Um, so yeah, but like I said, the truth comes out. It always comes out. So when you're doing wrong and you're doing dirt and you're treating people a certain way, truth always comes out. Okay. Like I said, I've got tons of receipts. I've got tons of receipts. Um, let me see what Jody said. Yes, I have Jody, no problems with Eric at all. I have no problems with Eric whatsoever. But the other guy, like I said, um, go when you the next time you go to his channel, ask him why he threatened to sue Chef. Y'all see what I did there? Sue Chef? Okay, all right. um, but yeah, I had to tell him to stop messaging me or my cousin in the Detroit police cyber crimes division would hear about all this stuff that was going on. Um, so when I left his network, he threatened to sue me because I left the network and went back on my own. And then he offered me to start back on his channel. But if I didn't want to start back on his channel, then he would sue me. And then he told me because I'm over here in Australia. He said that a lawsuit would be bad for my visa. So he threatened me, knowing that I'm over here with my family. He threatened to try to disrupt my life with my family because I didn't want to work with him anymore. And I wanted to go back out on my own. And I didn't want to work with him anymore because he owes me money and he never paid me. And he got really, really, really pissy with me once I started working because when I was initially with him, I didn't have work rights yet in Australia. So I was waiting for that. So once that happened, um, he got really pissy, he got really clingy, uh, very, very annoying, texting me all the time, calling me all the time. Um, and I had to tell him, "Look, dog, I don't have time for this. I'm working, I'm doing this, that, and the third thing." So yeah, that's the type of person that he is. So if you believe that any of this stuff is lies, again, I have all of the stuff. I can show you everything. I, I can just upload it somewhere. I can put it in my Discord or whatever the case may be, and let y'all run with the emails and the chats, conversations, and everything. I don't want to do that to that extent yet, but it'll come to a point where it has to happen. Um, yeah, I should invite him on. I saw that he's on Lions Talk Live again. That was a screenshot that was sent to me. So I probably should invite him on. Even Ahmed Hassanin's brother was on there. Um, and I'll shed a little bit of light. So Ahmed Hassanin's brother went on there when he was making the rounds. I tried to get him on the show after he had hooked up with that guy, and he was real like dismissive of me for really no reason, right? Um, and it was like real, like, oh, I'm pretty tired of talking about Ahmed. I kind of beat that, we kind of beat that topic into the dirt. But good luck on everything though. It was like there was like no, it was very so I was like, oh, okay. I see what's going on. So someone has said some things about me. Um, and a week later he was off the show. He stopped going on there. So that is what that is. Yes, that is a big thing going on there.
Hi, cooking with.
Laughing at the sous chef comment. Yeah, exactly. Right? Some of y'all got it. Some of y'all didn't. Some of y'all got it, some of y'all didn't. But that's just Syndicate, it didn't really lay bare all of any of that stuff that I just said to you guys. Because I haven't spoken that in depth about it, and there's yet still more to go. So if you're watching, you reap what you sow, and I hope you get it. Uh, couldn't happen to a more deserving person. So it is what that is. Like y'all know me, I'm here to talk ball. I'm here to talk, about the Detroit Lions. I'm here to talk about, um, whatever we talk about. We talk about kangaroos. We talk, you know what I mean? Like I'm here to chill with y'all. I I I am very integrated into the chat. And as far as the chat stuff, the integration into the chat happened when I got there. Because when I got there and he noticed that I was always talking to the chat, he said something to me about it. And I was like, yeah, I like to talk to the chat and blah, 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 blah. So he was like, well, pretty much F the chat. They can go screw themselves. And then he saw how successful it was when I was doing it, and um, he started doing it. So basically, he didn't care about you as a chat member until I came over there. He didn't start singing the praises of the chat until I came over there. So, I mean, you can watch who you want to watch, but I don't watch him. Obviously, I don't. First time I watched Rocked On was Donate for Cancer while me and my son are staying at the Hilton. Uh bye bye. Yeah. Um I would just say look into the Cancer Foundation, you know? I would say. I'm glad you don't have bad people as moderators here. That's for sure. I got two moderators. Tactical and Mr. Morale are my two moderators. I don't think that I need to have 87 moderators in the chat. Robert Stevens, yes, that's correct. And this is why the vibes are bad, because the things that I'm saying to you are 100% true. So yeah, I'm talking about that guy, and if the vibes are bad, I'm glad you're picking up on it. Mm-hmm. My man from Lions Talk Live said he doesn't F with Buddy because he's too messy. Uh yeah, he is messy. Don't have some annoying mid-60s hybrid loser whose whole life is being a moderator for them. One really needs to find. I know exactly who you're talking about, especially because you said hybrid. I know exactly who you're talking about. Um, Mace is my guy though. I love Mace. Did y'all he dropped one freestyle on It Is What It Is. I think just one. Because he just wanted to let us know he could still do it. Yeah. Yeah. Mace is my guy. uh I don't know if Brett DeWitt left or if he was saying bye bye to the other guy. I'm not sure. That was, you know, but the truth is the truth. Um, and also the memberships um, that were being bought by a certain moderator, the money was being given by him. It wasn't the moderator that was gifting the memberships. He was giving the money to the moderator, and then it was like, "Oh shucks, gee whiz! Oh look what you did! Look what you done did! Oh shucks, gee whiz! Oh, you guys are the best chat ever! Come on, guys! I love you guys! Yeah, no, fake, fake news." Yeah, I said, I got all that. I feel you. Mr. Morale 313 says, I dipped when you dipped. So what was supposed to happen was I don't remember what game it was. I was supposed to do one last stream and then I probably would have announced it on there, but then he revoked all my access to everything. So I couldn't do the stream for the game. Forget which game it was. Um mm, I think it was the Commanders game. Wait, it might have been the Commanders game, or it might have been the game before the Commanders game. I think it was the Vikings game because I think I was streaming the Commanders game on my channel. So yeah, I'm glad y'all did. Blatantly lying is also just as bad as using farm content for 95% of their shorts. It failed to even use AI to mirror or alter the clip. Um, I was thinking of doing the AI thing. I did a clip, but now the Mr. Detroit City's like, nah, I don't want that. Maybe I won't, because I was just gonna do it for shorts. Um, that's right. Uh, I dip, you dip, we dip. When I dip, you dip, just like that. Thanks to Syndicate. I link back in with you. Yeah, shout out to Syndicate, man. He reached out to me, man, and he's been nothing but helpful. I feel like Shannon Sharp talking about Stephen A. Smith. No, people in the chat saying Stephen A. It wasn't Stephen A. It wasn't Stephen A. Stephen A. the whole time was not like Skip. Uh, he was genuine. He'd call me. He'd be like, "Bruh, I'm just checking in on you, bruh. You need anything? You know." So no, it was Stephen A. was calling me the whole time. When I was going through when I was going through my situation with the OnlyFans models, and when I was being you know irrecoverably chastised and dragged through the mud by a lot of people. A lot of people's phone was silent, but it wasn't Stephen A. Yeah, I can watch football, and now I'm a scout and can write articles. LMAO. Okay. Yes. hmm 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 And uh, I do 15 things at the same time, and I've got 85 businesses, and I'm awake 79 hours a day. Yeah, it is, man. It is because most of the news comes through when I'm asleep. Most of the news comes through when I'm asleep. But hey, I guess you guys like my opinion, and I just try to give it to you straight, man. We're all Lions fans at the end of the day. We all want the best for the team. Um, so that's why we be passionate and we crash out sometimes. If you're good for my team, I love you. If you're not good for my team, you got to go. What I'm saying is that network is so arrogant, they stop mirroring, etc., to get around the system. And now look at them. Oh, okay, I feel you. Yeah, I got what you said. Yeah, I did a short when Brian Branch came out, and it was like I took her from the Lions, and it was like, basically, I'll die for these boys. And then he puts on these big glasses and he's smiling. It's the new AI, complete with AI or fill in with AI thing. So yeah, they were just meant to be kind of funny. I was gonna do a bunch of them, but for whatever reason, y'all know I'll be busy. Uh, to hit 100K, they got sloppy, stealing material. I feel you. I mean, you should be remixing it anyway. SAS is funny. I love your impression. Where them bats Dodgers? You silent. Kind of like SAS for some reason. Stephen A. Smith is entertaining. He's entertaining. Now Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp has become something different over there on Nightcap. So it's not just that Brent. It's that it's not just that Brent. It's that we are so dumb compared to you and your moderator. Bahaha. Yes, yes. Hmm. Your sister-in-law is a manager at a military base in Australia. That's cool. Tell her I'll give you my address. Tell her to send me some zebra cakes. Tell her to send me some zebra cakes and some tabletop pies. I don't know if y'all got tabletop pies because they were in Kroger. I mean, I'm guessing if they were in Kroger in Atlanta, they'd be in Kroger in Michigan. So, I don't think their fans understand how much material they've been taking from Barstool, Detroit Lions, Fox. I can go on for days, cry when they're caught, and play dumb. Think it's just over there. I know. Everything King said he got hit too, so I'm not sure over their vulgar language. Uh, What about Daniels in Miami is our new OC? So the problem with Daniels in Miami is the Dolphins are being incredibly stupid and keeping him until the end of the season when they will fire him. Let him go, bro. You don't need to keep him till the end of the season. Go ahead, get you an interim head coach. Let him go. Let him come to the Lions. I've been saying that, but no, Miami wants to be silly with it. So, um, yeah, it is. But we had a day where it got up to like 80, and then the next day was back down to 50. Raining, and you know what I mean. So that was like earlier this week too. Yeah, Brent got the guns out. Know what I haven't made in a while? Some jerk oxtail. See, there you go. There you go. There you go with the jerk oxtails. All in good fun. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead get out of here. I gotta get back on the grind. Um, so yeah, I won't be here tomorrow, as you know, because it's Friday over here and I got stuff to do. But I appreciate y'all, man, once again for coming through, hanging out, stopping by for a drinking conversation. Had my drink. Um, Once again, the Motor City Cats are indeed back at it. We came to give you stats, not none of that static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. Appreciate y'all, and we are out. Peace.